The Redmi Note 4 was launched in the January of 2017 and it broke the smartphone market, at least in India. It came with a Snapdragon 625 at 10,000 rupees or sub 10,000 market and it went bonkers. Now it's almost going to be 4 years. Let's find out how the phone has aged. Now, before we jump into the video, it's worth noting that the phone's battery was changed once after it was 3 years old. First, looking at the performance. Now, the biggest question you guys will have in your mind is how does it perform given the fact that it is nearly 4 years old now? Well, the performance is not the buttery. There are lags and stutters here and there, but I would still say that the performance is decent, usable, and the phone rarely ever hangs. All in all, I would say I'm very satisfied with the performance with this 4-year-old phone. Now, looking at the next thing, which is the camera. Now, this is where I think the phone ages very badly, and this is where it completely loses out with the new phones in the same price range. Now, it's worth mentioning that it wasn't the strongest camera to begin with, and if you look at the present day market, it is very bad. Camera has aged very badly. The pictures are very bad. I'll add some samples where you can have a look by yourselves. How does the camera perform? Next, we come to build quality. Well, I have dropped the phone quite a few of times, and as a result of that, neither do the volume rockers work, or nor does the power button work. But the front display is still intact. It has never been broken or anything like that, and it hasn't not even been cracked. So I would say it's fine. It's not the best build quality, I would say, but given the price, I would say they did a decent job. Now, display. Now, the display is a bit of a peculiar issue for me because I have faced issues of fixed pixels or dead pixels, and this happened very shortly after I had changed my battery. You can see on the rightmost extreme side the display is not at all visible, and I don't know if it will spread or not. So far it has stayed there, but I have no idea will it. Now the next thing is the battery life. Now it's worth remembering again that I have changed my battery once, and at that time the age of the phone was 3 years, which means I had changed it 1 year ago. Even after I have replaced the battery, I have to say that the battery life is still really good. It has a 4000 milliamp hour battery, and I get a screen off time of around 7 to 8 hours, and it's worth bearing in mind that I'm a very heavy user. Now, with most things being covered, let us have a look at the problems I have faced in this phone. The fingerprint sensor is still very fast and responsive. Now, I have been facing one issue, which is the headphone symbol, and it started 2 months ago. And it shows that the headphones are in even when I don't have them in. And this is a huge con for me as it blocks the speaker from working. And it is very annoying. The headphone jack still does a great job, yes. The headphone jack, which is very rare nowadays. So that's it, guys. Now here's my conclusion. Well, most things I said in this video are negative, and it's worth noting that the phone is almost going to turn 4. And if I judge the phone based on that, I would say the phone has aged well, very well, in fact, I would say. And even today, it is a very usable phone. From WhatsApp to Snapchat to Facebook to Instagram, it runs most apps pretty well. Yes, it has flaws, as I said, but I would still say it can be used, and it can be used very happily. So I would say it has to be one of my best purchases ever.